Hi, this is Adirondack Guy, and I'm here to talk about a subject that has nothing to do with any of the other subjects I've talked about. That I am a C.S. Lewis fan, and as such, I've done a lot of research on the world of Narnia. And I like his other books too, on different views on Christianity. I am making this video because my brother is a big fan of Tolkien, and he likes the world of Middle Earth. What's very interesting is how much C.S. Lewis and Tolkien copied from each other when they wrote their books. As many people know, these two authors were friends, and they had different views when it came to theology and mythology, but all in all, these guys got along, and they would talk with each other about writing stories. Why I'm talking about this is because there is something that is very similar between the two books. And that is both worlds, the world of Narnia and the world of Middle Earth, they both have a country that has the same name. Spelled a little different, but it's the same name. The name of this country is Ettinsmoor. When we talk about Ettinsmoor, there's a lot of similarities between the countries in the two worlds. But instead of giving my point of view, I'm going to read the different point of views that are online. But I want to start with the first book that mentioned Ettinsmoor, and I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe it was Tolkien's book, The Hobbit, which was published on September 21st, 1937. And that Ettinsmoor is spelled Ettenmoors. And Ettinsmoor, also known as the Trollfells, were a highland region of ERIADOR, which was west of the Misty Mountains, located north of Codsfells and Rivendell, and southeast of Mount Grum. The land was wild, untamed, misty, and sinister, and many evil creatures dwelt there. It was also the home of the trolls in The Hobbit. The Ettinsmoors were mainly ruled by hillmen, goblins, and orc chieftains, and was home to giants, trolls, dragons, orcs, wargs, white wolves, and barrow wights. Sorry about the pronunciation. I am not very good at that. So that is the Ettinsmoor in the Middle Earth of Tolkien's world. Now the Ettinsmoor in Narnia is very similar. It's spelled Ettinsmoor, and it's derived from Ettin's Moor, which was the giant inhabitant land directly to the north of the kingdom of Narnia. This land was first mentioned in the book The Silver Chair, which was published in 1953. The inhabitants of the world Ettinsmoor, the Eotens, were mentioned in the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, which is the first book published, but they were known as the evil giants. But their country wasn't mentioned until the book The Silver Chair. It is the only official nation as recognized by the Kingdom of Narnia in the wildlands of the north. The country was a rough and stony moor, traversed by many streams and rivers. Wild geese commonly flew over Ettinsmoor in the late autumn. One of the main sights of the land, besides the ruined bridge and city, is also the current castle of Harfang, where the so-called gentle giants lived. And if you read the book, they aren't as gentle as you think. The history of Ettinsmoor The Eotens were once a sophisticated species of giants that built ancient cities and bridges in Ettinsmoor and their giant neighbor country, the wildlands of the north, during the Age of Conquest. However, sometime during the Age of Winter, when the White Witch, that was during her reign, the giants became uncivilized at best. The inhabitants of Ettinsmoor became notorious for the stupidity and vicious temperament of the giants. Physically, they resemble rock formations when standing still, helping them to blend into the barren surroundings. With this in mind, it is possible that the reason why the giants were once sophisticated is because they may have been ruled by Jadis, the White Witch. When she first came to Narnia, she was banished to the north, where she remained for 900 years. It is possible that during that time she ruled the giants and got them to build the ancient city that now lies in ruins. The northern giants regularly waged unofficial war with the southern neighbors in Narnia. So that's about Ettinsmoor and Narnia. Now, a lot of people say, well, what is Ettinsmoor? Well, moor is a plain. Moor is like a farmland. It's fertile ground. There would be sometimes water pools. It's a great place to raise sheep or cattle, something like that. And sometimes they can have little rocky areas. So that's what a moor is. The best example of a moor to be seen, if you're trying to visualize what C.S. Lewis and Tolkien is looking at, would be you would have to go up to Scotland or northern Britain, or maybe even in Ireland. And this would give you an idea of what kind of a moor these countries would have looked like. Both countries were inhabited by giants. That's very important because the word Ettins, which I wrote down the original spelling, it's Old English, it's Eoten, and it means giant. It's an Old English word for giant. So both Ettinsmoors and both worlds are inhabited by giants. What's even more curious is that they're both inhabited by dragons. And C.S. Lewis, his view of dragons were very much of the mythology around the world, but he also compared them as ancient reptiles, which we now call dinosaurs. And of course, both places are regions of enemies of the heroes in both worlds, or what we would consider the heroes in both worlds. There's a lot of evil dwelled within these lands. Now, I'm sure C.S. Lewis chose this country, and this is my theory about this whole thing. You can get from our world to another world through there'll be like all kinds of ways, like through caves or like the wardrobe. There were different passages between our world to Narnia. And then C.S. Lewis also created the world between the worlds, which is a land full of puddles, and each puddle is a world that was created by the great emperor or god or whoever you want to use as a name. So C.S. Lewis has this visualization that there are many worlds out there, there's many universes, and they're all connected. And so this is just my theory. Because C.S. Lewis created his Ettinsmoor after Tolkien's, I almost bet, and I won't put my money down because there's no evidence, but that there is a secret entryway from Narnia to Middle Earth and Ettinsmoor, and that's why both names are the same. Again, that's just my theory. That's why I also believe C.S. Lewis created the name Ettinsmoor, a salute to his friend Tompkins. I'm sure it was a good gesture. But I wouldn't be surprised, though, if C.S. Lewis wanted his readers to have a little imagination. It's like, I wonder if there is a connection from that Ettinsmoor to the other Ettinsmoor. Is there a secret passage or a doorway into one universe into another? That would be very interesting to find out. I can't prove it. I don't think it'll ever be proven, this theory of mine, but I think it's a really cool idea. I would like to hear your point of view. What do you think? What theory do you have? Let me know. Okay, bye-bye.